for those who want to know what he's referring to, is this week's Build Your Big Three fast food mascots to win a Royal Rumble.
Or I could stick with the McDonald's crew. Get a guy that would steal a victory, if you know what I'm saying. Someone in my burgle.
I'll tell you what, they're all going to run when I take Jared from Subway. I'm not doing it. I can't.
Thank goodness the Burger King's a grown man, but the Hamburglar might.
The Hamburglar's unsure.
Childlike face.
The Groovus is like, no.
Here we go.
Wake up with the Sleeper Boys podcast.
Classic.
I'm back. Welcome, everyone. I am Bill, your host, along with co-host, brothers, family, and friends, Dean
Aww.
and Eddie. This week, we talk about our week, as always. How cringe were we as children? Another classic, Build Your Big Three. Dive into the great unknown with Dean's conspiracy theory of the week. And as always, we wrap it up with Bill's Balls Games. All right, fellas. Dean, I can't wait to hear all the crazy, wacky. What
You shot a 67, baby.
A 9, yes. I did go golfing, and I was easily humbled. All 3 rounds I went over the weekend, so that was fun. I guess I was hitting really nice drives, and then just everything in between was just the worst.
Now this is when I go with you. I gotta wait for you to get your good rounds out.
Now it's my time.
It's usually the first few rounds of the year I do pretty well, and then it gets my hopes up for the rest of the summer, and then I'm just disappointed for the rest of the year.
I bounce on your weakness.
But who knows? It could be like when we went with your buddies and we scrambled and I just have a day. One day.
Sure.
We had told them, Ed, that I was so bad, and that's why I was gonna scramble with Bill, because I guess the other guy normally did, and they thought I was just gonna be the worst, and I went out there and was like hitting like perfect drives down the middle, and like I just chipped a ball like 3 feet from the pin. What dude was so upset. I was like, I don't know what to tell you guys. It just happens sometimes.
You're having a day.
Yeah, but I did hear. I don't know if you guys heard about it. I thought it was kind of big news. It's not funny or anything like that, but John Elway and his the dude, he got in that golf cart accident, and his agent ended up dying. It's freaking wild, dude. I was like, I mean, just how bad could this golf cart accident have been?
Like,
you know, what I mean?
Hit the guy with his golf cart.
I don't know. I'm assuming they tipped it or something. I don't know. Maybe he was in the fairway and he thought it'd be funny, like one of those videos where you hit your buddy with the golf cart. But these guys are like 70 years old.
Elway don't miss, bro.
Elway don't miss. I always told my buddies, if you ever hit me with a golf cart, I'm fighting you right there. I'm not gonna let you hit me with a golf cart.
Well, I want to hit you with a golf cart.
This was fun. But
I want to do it just so we can throw down shirtless at a golf course. Beards rubbing,
boobs everywhere. No chicks in sight.
Somebody's pouring a beer over us while we're rolling around on the ground.
I was getting hot. I needed to cool off. somebody, please.
Crack another Bush Light.
Like a third period in a heavyweight wrestling match, you know?
Exactly.
Just
Dude, that's yeah.
It's like, all right,
that's pretty
guys.
much you're just holding each other now.
Fellas, it's just us three out here. Can we just call this thing later?
It's wetter than it should be. I don't know why.
The stamina in this fight's gonna be pretty low.
I'm kind of getting grossed out. I'm not gonna lie. You guys have had your shirts off way too long. Now.
Way too long.
I took
Wait,
mine off
You're
a
not
hole
even mad, you're
before.
just breathing.
Just bellies breathing into each other.
Well, that reminded me of a time I went on a golf trip last summer. And me and my buddies were all getting
What's going
The
on
tops
here?
were off.
with the,
You know
with
what?
the-
I don't want to go on that thing with you ever.
it was about the golf cart. And we were on the first hole at this really nice course. And it had like steep hills and it was in the morning, so it was like kind of wet. And my buddy went over this hill, not realizing it dipped straight down, and then it led to like a steep hill that they had roped off because they're like, don't, it was so steep, you shouldn't be driving down it or trying to. And he went over it and he couldn't stop. He went over that first hill and he couldn't stop. He was in the car with my other buddy, and they end up running over the rope, ripping like the post out of the ground, and they started going backwards down the hill and down the steep hill. And my one buddy just jumped out of the cart and left the other guy like steering from the passenger seat. He ended up backing it back onto somehow he like turned it and backed it back onto the cart path. And then we just like shoved the post in the ground and like threw some dirt on it, hoping it was like leaned over. You could tell it was messing, and nobody came. And I was like, we're gonna get kicked off this course by hole 4 or 5. We're probably done. Like,
What
they're
hole
probably
was it?
kicking
The
us off.
first hole?
The very first hole.
Oh
And
my
it's like
gosh.
It's like a big like dogleg right par 4, and it was just past the turn, so it was like out of sight of where anybody. But luckily they spaced the tee times out so far that nobody was behind us, so we just got super lucky that nobody found out. We just kind of went on with the rest of the day. We played the rest of the round. It was a good time.
Nice.
But you guys ever do anything stupid like on a golf cart? Anything crazy ever happened to you?
On a
Yeah.
cart? I'm pretty sure, Bill, have I seen you fall? Have I seen you tip a cart?
Yeah, it was at Alwyn Downs.
Yeah.
It was the par 3 uphill.
Mhm.
It's like a long par 3, and it's not a steep hill, but it's got a little bit of an incline to it. And I wasn't really doing anything wrong. I went to drop my buddy Justin off, and he was for whatever reason, he was like towards the middle of the hill, and I turned, and it just kind of went bloop, it tipped over on its side.
Oh,
And a ranger was at the top of the hill.
so
He's
obviously
like,
he was
he ran down. He's like, "Are you okay?" I like popped up in between. I'm like, "I'm good."
You popped up in between. He's like, "Oh no, you lost half your legs." Oh
Like,
dear
no.
Lord!
like I'm standing straight up.
No, sir.
Oh,
I'm fine.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
that's so rude. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Eddie.
Yeah. Not a lot's going on. I did want to bring up a couple of like the viral things that have gone on this week, just because they were big. One, I was curious what everybody's heard about the Belichick Jordan Hudson interview. Am I right? Or Dean, do you know anything about that?
No.
So Belichick was doing an interview with CBS Morning or something, promoting his book. Obviously, his 24-year-old girlfriend is there.
Mhm.
Not like in front of the camera or whatever. And so they're just asking him questions, and then the interviewer, I mean, doing his due diligence, really. It's just kind of like, obviously your relationship with your girlfriend is very popular, or some kind of
Yeah.
very popular news or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just like, so could you just go over how you guys met? how did you guys meet or something like that? And then the girlfriend pipes up from the side and is like, we're not talking about that. And the interviewer's like, no. And she goes, no. And it basically ended the interview.
Oh.
And dude, the more you go down this rabbit hole of like everything she's involved with this old guy's life is kind of like he emailed his people at UNC, in North Carolina, obviously. For those who don't know, he's the head coach at North Carolina now. Include her on all the emails. Like
I saw that part. I didn't know about the interview though. Yeah.
Yeah, this just happened. This came out within the last couple days. And so like she basically shut the interview down because they had asked how they met or whatever. Stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't know. I didn't know if you guys had seen that, what you guys thought about that. I mean, a lot of comments are like, you're ruining Bill's legacy. Like
you're right.
You're tarnishing this good man's name. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine, and I know it's easy to say because we're not in that position, but to be 49 years older than your girlfriend.
That's pretty wild. That's why we went to UNC.
It is
for the
I mean, and I looked up like what did she do before? Like she graduated cosmetology school, right? And tried to be a Miss America pageant lady.
Yep.
Like she took second in Maine or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was something like that, and it's like, Bill, man, come on.
It's kind of
like I guess if you don't care, right? I mean,
right. Clearly,
I'm letting this super hot chick just have her way with me, and I'll just do what she says because I'm 73 and I'm not gonna, like this is my last shot at that. So
likely, yes.
Yeah,
that's wild. It does make you curious, like why is how they met so secretive? Like how does that happen? Because I feel like Bill Belichick isn't out like searching for that. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's happened more than we would even assume.
Well,
but
they
you know what I
on
mean?
A plane. They met on a plane, right? Just randomly met on a plane.
Yeah.
They were sitting next to each other. He asked her about this book she had, which is, I'm not going to say that because that's out of line, and I don't know her, but so he commented on the book she was reading. Some theory was like they probably met on some high-end dating app.
Yeah.
Right. And then that was their story. I don't know. To me, before I read that, I was like, I wonder if because Belichick was with his ex. He had a girlfriend for a super long time.
Yeah.
Closer to his age or whatever. That doesn't really matter, but when it's that stark of a difference, obviously it comes up. But if his buddies had like hired her to like give him a good time, I mean, it's not impossible to. I'm not saying she's that kind of person because I don't know.
Right.
But it wouldn't be that crazy to think your friends would try to do that.
Yeah, and usually,
but it's probably a dating app.
And usually the runner-up for a Miss America pageant or whatever, for Miss Maine or whatever, probably doesn't need to go for the old rich dude. You know what I mean?
Obviously.
She probably get pretty decent younger looking. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that could just be
sure
thing too. I don't.
Well, I mean, sure. Like, I think by now it would be noted if she had a history of
that's true.
Dating much. I mean, we're talking great grandpa, like legitimate great grandpa age.
Yeah.
Compared to, so it's not even like necessarily just daddy issues. It's like great grandpa issues.
She's a whore.
I'd click on that link.
He's put her in charge of his social media and whatever.
Yeah. No, I saw it. I saw the camera angle. They put the camera angle on her too.
Yeah. What'd you think?
She looked pissed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like they're like, they probably were like, we're not going to talk about this, and then he asked anyway, and
Well,
Bill's just
as a
like
journalist,
uh.
it's not like he doesn't mention her in his book either. So it's a little relevant, and it's obviously right now one of the most interesting things about him to the general public.
I can't
So you
imagine
you
what
kind
kind
of
of
just
read
ask,
that is.
just ask how did you meet? You know,
It had to have been a dating app.
I think so.
And she was
Or-
probably worried he was going to spill it.
Probably it was like sugar daddy's app.com, whatever.
Well, I just went on sugardaddies.com and she was there. Now I'm the football coach at UNC. And raise your voice, Bill.
Exactly. One other thing I just wanted to bring up, because it's been super viral this week, is 100 men versus one gorilla.
Yeah.
Who do you
Seen
got? Who do you got? Can 100 men beat one gorilla?
Yeah.
Depends on the guys. If it's
That's true.
100, if it's 100 of me, no. If it's 100 Brock Lesnar's, yeah, I would say yes.
Or like someone smart. Like, like a nature survivalist or like
Well, if
you
you're
know how to
fighting the
deal-
gorilla, I don't know how much survivaling is. Survivalist.
the gorilla.
If we eat the gorilla's hairs, we can survive for an extra.
I mean, is
5
the gorilla
days.
going to give you
Supposedly-
time to like build a spear? And you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I mean, there's 99 other dudes. that
But there's
he has
only
to
so much
contend with.
space on a gorilla.
it's true. Really, only like 10 dudes are going to get to fight the gorilla at a time. Right? Unless you're punching the other dudes in the back.
To get your shot at the gorilla. I would be reaching over the guys to punch the gorilla in the face.
Oh, you said gorilla.
Yeah.
I thought you said glorilla.
Oh, Glorilla.
Oh yeah, 100 dudes take Glorilla, no problem.
No, I think a gorilla can only like really intensely fight for like 15 minutes.
Well, I only
So
got,
he'd
like,
have to
1
beat 100
minute,
dudes.
So if it's 100 me's, he's got it.
Well, is everybody attacking for 15 straight minutes?
Like someone's dead for sure.
And is it like one of those, like, you know
Yeah.
how like when you run through the banner and all, like in football, and everybody just jumps on, like some of the dudes at the end jump on top? Is it one of those scenarios where it's just Superman punching over the pile?
I mean, that's how you hold the gorilla down, right?
I don't know if anybody. I don't think anybody's holding the gorilla.
100 men couldn't hold one gorilla down.
I don't think you could get 200 hands onto the gorilla to
Right.
hold it down.
Without it killing a bunch of them.
Well, let me tell you,
someone's dying for sure. There's no.
There's going to be death. There's going to be lots of death.
Even the Brock Lesnar's, the 100 Brock Lesnar's is going to be a lot of death.
So we don't have an expert on this. So I did put it into Chat GPT to see what the answer, what that thing said. The answer was,
Yeah.
and it said in almost all realistic scenarios, no, 100 unarmed men would not be able to beat a silverback gorilla without suffering extreme, likely fatal casualties. Even then, success is far from guaranteed. Here's why. Strength and durability. A silverback gorilla can lift up to 1,800 pounds and has 10 times the strength of an average adult male. Arms are stronger, extremely thick skin. Human limitations. The average man is not trained to fight wild animals. Even coordinated, 100 men would struggle to surround, let alone control a 400 to 500 pound wild animal. The first wave of attackers would likely be severely injured or killed, which would cause the rest to hesitate or flee. Gorillas are intelligent and can respond with tactical aggression. Most humans, even in a large group, would panic under the chaos of such a violent encounter. The exception, if the 100 men were highly trained, armed with tools, or could use traps and restraints, then it might be possible to overwhelm the gorilla at great cost. But barehanded and untrained, it's extremely unlikely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
That's according to
Again,
artificial intelligence.
Just to get close to it, it's going to swing its arm and knock like 8 dudes out immediately. Or it could just pick you, just rip your fucking
Again,
rip your freaking head.
100 of you or 100 of me. Yeah, I mean, the
100%.
gorilla wins probably
100 out of 100.
Not against 100 of me, I'll tell you that right now.
probably what was it when you never it was like perfect. The health bar is perfect.
If you give me 100 Panay stools,
Right.
I'm feeling pretty good about that,
You're
right?
feeling
You
better
gotta
about it.
select. You gotta
Yeah.
be able to select your
For
dudes.
sure.
Yes.
Okay, so if you guys feel like you could select 100, you're good to go.
Still.
It's gonna be close, but
Yes,
I
it'll be
think
a lot. It will be a lot closer if I get to select 100. I don't even know. I mean, can I clone guys?
Here's the thing, like I think about Panay or Brock Lesnar that you brought up earlier. How many Brock Lesnars could actually grab a gorilla at one time? Because they're so big.
I was thinking like a guy like Eddie
4?
Hall. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
world's
but
strongest man.
how many other people can get in on that?
I mean,
And the gorilla will overpower Eddie Hall.
for sure. But 10 Eddie Halls?
But can 10 do it at the same time?
That's a good question. Like I said, the minute you get close,
Someone's
it's gonna
gonna
knock
die.
you out like immediately.
Oh, multiples are gonna die.
Oh yeah.
but if you can get the gorilla down, I feel like you have a chance.
If you can get it down, you gotta get it down.
You just gotta
What are you gonna
Roman
do when you get
Reigns
it down?
spirit.
I think you just gotta try and stomp on its throat or something, right? I don't know.
I mean,
I mean, yeah.
just like try to gouge their eyeballs, and you're gonna have to play dirty.
You gotta go for
Dirty
the-
gorilla.
you
I gotta go
for
dirty
that.
gorilla on this guy.
You know
Well,
what
no,
I mean?
those
I
were
mean, you're just
two-
gonna have to be ruthlessly savage.
Well, yeah. I mean, because the gorilla's not thinking about it at all. They're just gonna be
PETA will
savage
be
and destroy
pissed.
you. Yeah. Then you gotta fight off the PETA. I mean, could 100 average males beat 100 PETA people?
Probably. Actually, I don't know because there might be some ripped up Peter dudes.
Are you scared of some PETA guys?
I don't know. I don't know. One
They
PETA
eat
guy
healthy every day. I know that.
one PETA guy versus 100 of me. It'll be close. There's gonna be some
It'll
casualties.
be real close because 100 me's are getting gassed.
Yeah, we're getting. As
The
we're
PETA
running
guy's
to
gonna
him-
climb a tree.
Yeah, as we're running towards him, we're all gonna have to stop and put our hands on our knees for a minute.
Stop running, PETA guy.
Yeah, stop. He's just gonna outlast us.
Well,
Well, those are two big things that were on the internet this week. So
yeah, yeah, it'd be close. 100 of me,
okay, just real quick, average male.
no,
Average
No.
male.
no.
100 average males against
No.
a one gorilla.
Unarmed?
I agree.
No.
I agree. Yeah, unarmed. No, they all have AK-47s.
Well, I mean, like what if they all had like hammers or something like that? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or-
I would give it to the average males. Yes, if you had a
Or a
hammer,
machete or
if
something.
they all had a hammer, yeah, you could
Machete.
stab the gorilla. Yeah, eventually, if they weren't scared off, yes, they would win. Because the gorilla would still kill the first 20, probably, even though they
Yeah.
may have gotten a stab in here and there.
Yeah. Want to go straight for the gut and just squeeze its head off. Just
Well-
pretty much.
Well, I had a good week. Had a great birthday. Now in my 40s, I feel super old. Got to chill, eat some good food on Saturday. So solid week.
Oh, you got good food Saturday?
I did
Where at?
at Two Madres.
I think I missed it.
No, you're there. But it got me thinking about like when we were kids and how dumb like I was and how rebellious Eddie was, and how Dean stood in traffic. But
Ooh.
like I was thinking, like
No, I was a stop guard. Okay, or
yeah,
crossing
you,
guard.
you were a
okay.
crossing guard. I'm thinking
You
like
got
the
some kids' faces crossed due to that. You crossing guard.
what was like the cringiest thing that you believed in as a kid, or even the cringiest thing you did? And I'll give you guys a minute to think about it because I have two that come to mind, and we've brought it up before here. So I'll just do that one first, and that would be I thought for certain that I was going to marry Britney Spears.
You still owe me. You owe me so much money.
$50.
It was a mill.
$50.
Start making payments.
Yeah.
I'll take payments.
So-
No interest.
I thought for sure I was going to marry Britney. I had no doubt in my mind. No
You were
doubt
so
in my mind.
confident you bet $1 million on it.
I bet $500.
Now it's 500. Oh, looks like you don't really remember.
I try to negotiate. But the second thing, and I don't know if it's like cringy because like your belief system as a kid is completely different, obviously, than an adult. But like, I thought the Undertaker was real, the wrestler, the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Like the first
Sure.
like 10 times I saw the guy, like I thought he was dead. I thought he was a dude that came back from the dead and choke slam people. And
Happens. It happens.
he came out of an urn. And I was like, man, like thinking about it now, like obviously, but at the time, I'm like,
Yeah.
If you
I
still
would hope-
believe that now,
it's so real to-
that would be crazy.
I remember, dude, we were so young when the Undertaker came onto the scene. I mean, I remember thinking the urn held real power over him for sure.
Yeah.
Cringiest thing I've done, not cringiest, but one of them. I mean, mooning a cop, unknowingly. I got dared to go moon the street at a truth and dare, party. It wasn't themed that, but that's what we were playing for a while. I went out to the street. We lived on a main street. I turned around to moon the cars that were coming by. I pulled my pants down and I started slapping my butt with both hands because I had to be a little extra about it. And then all of a sudden the bubbles came on and the cop was not having it. And we all ran inside and Bill made me turn myself in to the police later that afternoon.
It was the right thing to do.
But honestly, it wouldn't have felt that cringy if somebody I knew, their dad was actually driving by at that same time also. And he brought it up to me until I never saw him again. So for years and years, he brought it up every time I saw him.
Did you ever wipe that ass, kid?
Yeah. Oh, dude, he was dying talking about it. Just talking about how I was slapping my ass and all that stuff. I was like, dude, I couldn't see the cop. Dude, I remember the cop's face because, like, when I was having to tell him, he was clearly trying not to laugh.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I was, yeah. But I mean, that was just one of those things. And I believed as a kid that you could be an animal, like an actual animal when you grew up. So I always thought I was going to be a lion for the first 14 years of my life. But there's just when I was a kid.
14?
Well, yeah, you didn't think you could do that when you were 14? Your imagination stopped?
Loser.
I don't know. It was probably till like
Cringe.
6, 7-ish, maybe. Right around
That's
that.
fair.
I really did. I thought I could be a lion. I wanted to be.
I mean, that would have been pretty cool if you just ended up being
yeah,
a
that would have
lion.
been sick. It's like when I grow up, I'm going to be a lion.
I mean, you still could. You could just be a furry if you wanted. Just
True.
put
I'm not
the
sure
lion-
it's
you can be a lion.
Yeah. I'm not saying anybody who believes they are is not. I'm just saying I didn't turn into a real one for me. What I believe is a real lion.
Oh, man.
Dean?
Well, I mean, you already said when I had traffic stopped all the way up Michigan Ave when I was a kid because I had that fake stop sign or whatever, and I was crossing the street at like 3:30 in the afternoon, holding the stop sign, walking back and forth, and stopping traffic on the busiest road in Marshall. Yeah, that didn't end great. So, but I was only like 5 or 6, which is even crazier. I was just outside by myself, just walking across the street with a stop sign. That's pretty wild, like thinking about that. Like,
Yeah, but that's not like cringe. You're only 5.
yeah, I was pretty young. But then
I have another one.
I thought I would eventually get superpowers. Like I thought like that would just kind of happen, you know what I mean? Like just waiting for it to happen. Or like maybe like a spider like would bite me at night or something.
Every day you wake up, you're like,
just just trying to move stuff with my mind. I thought that would happen. I was like, well, maybe, you know, like obviously if there was real superheroes, like you wouldn't know that they were like around, you know what I mean, for the most part. And I was like, maybe one day I'll get like super strength or you know what I mean? Or, like, so I just practice until it didn't happen. And that was like that for the first 32 years of my life. And just a couple
as I
of
get
years.
older, every day I wake up and I'm like,
Come on. Come on.
just one web.
But yeah, I guess that's really the only thing I could really think of.
Fine, I'll
What
make
a
my own.
loser.
Every kid wanted to have superpowers, though. Especially like once Spider-Man came out. Oh man.
Dean's like, I'll make my own webs.
Yay. Hey.
All right. Well, yeah, those were some good ones. I still only owe you $500.
I
Take
mean,
it.
I take it at this point. 'Cause I know that.
You settled pretty low.
Yeah.
That
I'll
was
take the
quick.
deal.
I'll take the 500. Thank you. Just give me something.
Well, let's get out of the cringy and into the cool. Eddie, take it away.
This is very cool, actually. For those who want to know what he's referring to, is this week's Build Your Big 3. For those who don't know, Build Your Big 3 is a snake style draft where you draft up 1, 2, 3, then back down 3, 2, 1. This week, we are building our Big 3 fast food mascots to win a Royal Rumble. For those who want to know the order, it's Bill, then Dean, then myself. Bill, round 1, pick one. Fast food mascot to win a Royal Rumble. You're on the clock.
I have 9 exactly.
So,
Oh, I got 9 that I ranked.
so
And then I have 7 after that.
Oh dang. It's a lot.
want it?
do I
You
get the
want it?
weapon? Does the weapon
I
come
see where you're going. I see where you're going. Go ahead, take him.
Well, I'm asking.
Go with what they've shown up with.
And they can use it?
If they
Why
have
not?
it on their character, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, as a character. Then I'm going to go with the Little Caesar.
He's just killing people in this Royal Rumble.
With it.
He's got to speak like pizza.
Little Caesar goes round 1, pick 1.
One pick.
Royal in the Royal Rumble draft
Royal Rumble.
due to his spear.
Yeah, due to the
And not the
spear. I
Roman
mean,
Reigns effort kind.
that's the only spear he gets to use. So, I mean, I assumed this would still be here, but I'm gonna pick something that I think you guys would assume I'd pick. I'm gonna take the Burger King.
Yeah. That was number 1.
He's doing that. He's doing it. He's the king.
Why do you think Burger King wins this thing?
He's the king. He's the
He's
king.
not because Caesar's gonna stab him.
You know, he's a peasant compared to the king.
Dude, as soon as Caesar gets in there, they're all taking his spear from him.
It's true.
He's the smallest.
He's like if the giant Big
Wearing
Show
a
rolls in,
toque.
everybody attacks him, immediately.
He might stab somebody.
Go stab somebody.
I've never seen a Royal Rumble.
Well, Burger King is off the board. I am going to go with Colonel Sanders as my round 1 pick 3.
I was gonna take
Due to
Did
his
he make
old
it to the ring?
I'm taking Colonel Sanders in his prime. Thank you. When he was a
military. Yeah,
Yeah.
military.
when he was an actual colonel, and even if he's a little older, he'll have that old man strength. The guy is a tactician.
He's a tactician.
He knows his stuff. Colonel Sanders probably winning the whole thing.
That's
Due to
gonna
your
be my
foolish
next pick.
picks. Well, it had to be. Who else could you take? I'm gonna go. I'm twisted here.
He just gets the original
Because it's between two guys. Two guys here. I think whoever I take, I think the other guy is going to go next. So I'm just going to go ahead and say Ronald McDonald. Based on TV, he's conjured food and other objects out of thin air. He's also he's the leader of his group. You have other guys come in, he'll probably get them to team up.
You clown, dog. You clown.
He's clowning.
He's clowning.
Going to WrestleMania and main eventing. I'll tell you that.
You picked Doink, the clown, right there.
Yeah.
This is what you picked.
That ain't Doink. Doink can't conjure things out of thin air.
That's true. He can get some cheeseburgers on the drop of a dime.
Hey, man, you never watched the Ronald McDonald show?
No, I didn't. Never did.
You do whatever you wanted. All right, Dean. It's round 2, pick 2.
Okay. All right. I don't know if this is the one you were thinking of, but I need a little size on my team, So I'm gonna take Grimace.
Yeah.
He's just
But Grimace is working for me, baby.
So but he's gonna heel turn on Ronald McDonald.
The Grimace heel turn.
He's got the chair waiting behind him. Good luck throwing him over the top rope.
He's just a taste bud. He ain't thinking for himself.
He's a nugget, bro.
He's a taste bud, isn't he?
He's a nugget.
No, he's a taste bud.
He's a chicken nugget.
A purple
He
chicken
doesn't
nugget.
even look like a chicken nugget.
What else would be purple? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. They're yogurt parfaits if you mix them from back in the day.
Is he really a taste bud? I always thought he was a chicken nugget.
Yeah. He's supposed to be a taste bud.
Oh. Well, he's shaped like a chicken nugget.
I guess I don't know if this is fast food or not, but I'd like to go with the big
Don't you say
boy.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that counts. The big boy.
The big boy.
The big boy man.
Can you imagine his
He's
song
a big man
pops?
now.
His song hits and the crowd pops for this guy.
Like it's big boy.
Nobody saw it coming.
That was also gonna be my next pick.
He's got one strap off of his big show.
No shirt. Formerly known as Big Boy, now the big man.
I'm the big man.
He comes into the ring.
So is this like a men's Royal Rumble or?
You could take. It's a fast food mascot rumble.
I'm not gonna take her.
Go ahead, take her.
Nah.
She's getting crushed.
Yeah. I thought
sure.
about taking. You know what? I just kind of like the guy. Let's go. Hold on. I need to clarify this. If I take, I can't say it.
Make the.
Well, if you're gonna
pick.
take it, you can say it. You don't have any more picks, so would it matter if you say
Right.
it or not?
So if I take the Chuck E. Cheese,
Uh-huh.
do I get full size Chuck E. Cheese or an actual mouse?
You get the mascot.
Yeah, the guy that runs out in the suit,
I mean, yes,
All right,
there's mice in Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm gonna take
or the
hamburger.
12-year-old girl.
The Eddie's Brown. I'm gonna take the cow from Chick-fil-A.
Trying to get some size. I get it. Trying to get some
Yeah.
size in the ring.
That's gonna be hard to get over the top rope.
Yeah. You're gonna have to touch some udders.
Oh, that's a dairy cow. All right, here we go.
Oh, snap. I'm now stuck between two. One I didn't really know was a food mascot until I was looking it up earlier. It would give me a lot of speed on the mat.
That's not a
Be-
fast food though.
It'd be my lucha. I don't know if you know. I don't know if we're talking about the same guy.
Must not be.
Be my luchador. He was like an 80s.
Oh,
He's like from like the first, like the antagonist of their commercials back in like 86 or 87 or something like that. Or I could stick with the McDonald's crew. Get a guy that would steal a victory, if you know what I'm saying. Someone in my burgle.
You know why I didn't take him?
Oh, why?
Because Eddie's got Ronald.
I know. Well, I got my heel turns going on. The Burger King's leading the McDonald's crew. I'm taking the Hamburglar. We're stealing a victory.
Oh,
They've
the
turned on
hamburger.
Ronald. Ronald's been a douche to them.
Well, here's what
now,
you
now the
weren't.
Burger King's here to save the day.
I'll tell you what, they're all gonna run when I take Jared from Subway. I'm not doing it. I can't
Thank
do it.
goodness the Burger King's a grown man, but the Hamburglar might.
The Hamburglar's
He's got
unsure.
a childlike face.
Cruz is like, no.
No.
I gotta go. I mean, I'm gonna go with Moon Man, aka Mac tonight. The McDonald's. He's a McDonald's late night mascot. He's got like a moon head. He's a little creepy. He's kind of like a horror villain, but I think he's got psychological warfare advantage. And I think with Ronald and Happy or Moon Man, we'll be able to convince at least Grimace to turn on the burglar or the burglar to turn on Grimace.
His
Burger
name's
King's
Moon
got it
Man.
on lockdown.
That's the heel turn you weren't. Yeah, Moon Man. Or
Yes,
Mac
yes.
Mac tonight. He also plays an instrument in case he needs to soothe you. I'm going Moon Man. All right, great big threes. I'm going to start with Bills. You guys think of some honorable mentions if you have them. Bill's big three was Little Caesar, the big boy, and the cow from Chick-fil-A. Dean took the Burger King, Grimace, and Hamburglar. I took Colonel Sanders, Ronald McDonald, and the Moon Man. I feel like my team has the most fingers. I feel like we're more dexterous
Fair.
to win this thing. Dean, you had a later pick than Bill. You have any honorable mentions?
The one I was gonna pick, I don't know if you can. It was the Noid for Domino's.
Sure.
And then I mean, I think what Chuck E. Cheese you had already talked about it. So, but yeah, it was in Windy.
I mean, I think the Noid, I don't think he wins it, which is why I don't think he gets in there. But he'll definitely cause some chaos.
He's your
in the middle
lucha,
of that
you know?
rumble.
Little
He's wearing
lucha.
the mask already.
Yeah, exactly.
Bill, you got any you want to throw in there?
Not really. Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut. I mean, there were a couple more McDonald's ones I could
Oven
get thrown
mitt.
in there.
Angel Reese.
Oh, the hamburger helper. That's not fast food. It's fast food at home.
No, oven mitt from Arby's.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
saying, gotcha.
The Taco Bell Chihuahua.
Hey, bow wow. Eh?
Yo quiero Royal Rumble.
I want Royal Rumble. Yeah, the Taco Bell Chihuahua, Mayor McCheese, which was another option for me there. Just because he's a leader by trade.
By votes. He's voted the mayor, so he's gonna
Windy would have been a tough pick. The Jack in the Box guy
Mm.
was considered. It doesn't look like he can die, so it just seemed like maybe something to throw in there. But
for sure.
also has a very incredibly large head, and that's a big target. So
Travis Scott.
sure,
Angel
SZA, yeah,
Okay.
Saweetie,
Reese. Whoever gets that special meal, you know what I mean?
Buster Rhymes.
For sure.
Yeah. All right.
Get
Well,
it,
great
Tucker's
big
man.
three.
Drake.
We got quite the mascot lineup for action-packed Royal Rumble. But there's another Rumble. A
In your
Rumble from the
pants.
Dark Underground. The Dean's trying to expose. And another week where the darkness comes to light. And Dean's conspiracy theory of the week.
Anyway.
Go back.
Oh.
You know what? That's my mistake.
Dark and twisted. So this week, it's somewhat of a short one. I went with a dream theory. It's really a dream is buying a brand new club from secondhandbirdies.com, the official sponsor of the Wake Up Podcast. Handling all your golf club needs without breaking the bank. They are a family-owned business who specializes in taking any and all golf gear and clubs and refurbishing them back to their old glory, while also including club head covers and possibly a bag or two if you're looking at the right time, which are marked on the site with a quality club rating from 1 to 5, 5 being almost brand new to 1 being nothing special, but will get the job done. This ensures an easy and pleasant shopping experience, knowing exactly what you are going to get, while also providing great customer service and also a quick delivery, so you can get to swinging as soon as possible. They also offer golf club cleaning services for those of us that don't have time to do it or just too lazy to do it for themselves. And with the Wake Up Podcast promo, you will get 10% off all purchases for using the promo code Wake Up Podcast in all lowercase letters. All clubs are already at a discounted price, but if you subscribe to their email newsletter, you'll get a 15% off your very first purchase. And on top of that, if you use the promo code Wake Up Podcast, you'll receive 10% off all purchases after that initial first purchase, which makes an already great deal even better. Inventory moves fast, so don't wait too long. Get to secondhandbirdies.com, subscribe to the email newsletter, get your 15% off your first purchase, get your 10% off every purchase after that using the code Wake Up Podcast, and get to swinging as soon as possible. Find quality clubs for less. Go to secondhandbirdies.com. So like I said, I did go with a dream theory. It's somewhat short, um, but I thought it was kind of interesting,
Have
and
you
I
heard of
kind of
Inception?
yeah. I mean, I'm on the 7th level right now. Um, so so what if our dreams are actually glimpses into other dimensions or alternate versions of ourselves? This theory suggests that when we dream, we're not just accessing random thoughts or memories, but instead our consciousness is temporarily slipping into a parallel universe where another version of us is living a different life. Each dream could be an experience in an alternate reality where things are slightly or drastically different from our own life. Maybe in one universe, you're a famous artist, in another, you're an astronaut on Mars, or maybe even a version where you made completely different life choices. The theory proposes that when we dream, our consciousness leaves the confines of this reality and observes or interacts with these other versions of ourselves. Some believe that the vividness of certain dreams, especially recurring ones or dreams that feel more like memories, could be evidence of us slipping into another dimension where we are experiencing events that have already happened or will happen in that universe. In this sense, our dreams aren't just figments of imagination, but windows into other realities where our alternate selves are living out their lives. If this is true, then every dream could be a connection to a vast multiverse, with each night offering us a chance to experience a different life we could have had, or even to communicate with different versions of ourselves from across dimensions. So essentially, it's basically a simulation theory for the most part, where we're just kind of living in one consciousness, and then when we go to sleep, we're kind of being put into another realm. You know what I mean? Because there's really no explanation other than your brain being active to why you dream. I don't think. I mean, I didn't. I guess I didn't look that far into it. But as far as I know, there's really no explanation as to why it happens other than your brain just has activity going on in it, and it's just making these things. So it's like, what if this is something that you're not, you actually are like your soul or whatever, your consciousness is going in and seeing other realities, kind of like the mirror theory. I haven't said that one yet, but it's the same where like mirrors, like, um, could be like we've always been told they were reflections, but they could actually be like a window where like you in an alternate reality just happen to, that's the common space that happens in that moment, is that you're essentially looking into another universe, but it's the same thing, but like different. The only common thing that happens in both universes is that you're both looking in the mirror at the same time. Essentially, it's the only thing that lines up.
Well, in
Um,
moving and
moving. What do you mean?
like if you move your arm,
Well,
you could
yeah. Well, I mean, when you're in the, I mean, it's a mirror. Yeah, it mimics everything. That's the common space. Is whenever there's a mirror, it's technically a window into an alternate universe, and that's the common times that you see the other universe is in the mirror. But to add to this as well, I saw a theory somewhat similar to this. It's not the same one, but that like, what if like every time you die, your soul is put into like another version of yourself, um in an alternate reality, so while everybody from your actual reality is mourning you, you continue living on without realizing anything's that different than it was before. You know what I
it,
mean? Like, how many times like have you had like there's been a couple of times where I've had like, I wouldn't say near death experiences, but things that could have, you know what I mean? Like almost like a near car wreck or whatever that didn't happen. But like, what if it, you know what I mean? Like, what if I did, like, what if it did happen and just, I was just put into a different reality?
are are you bringing that up because of what was brought up this week with
Of what?
with scientists saying like um they're starting to come up with a theory where I was going to bring this up actually. Um they think that you don't die, like your soul we just have too much energy to just die. So like
Right.
our energy goes somewhere else and we
Mhm.
become a living thing, wherever. I mean,
That isn't
essentially,
why I picked that one or why I said that. It's just something I had heard, or not heard. Well, you know what I mean. Just kind of glanced over while I was looking through some other stuff. But I've always been somewhat of a believer, like, because we all grew up, religious, like Christian or whatever, And my thought was like, what if like this is kind of going off the rails a little bit. Like, what if like the part of eternal life or like heaven is just like reincarnation and you get to continue living an eternal life, but different lives. Like your soul is an eternal life, and that's what heaven is that you keep getting to live until you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if that is heaven? I mean the life I'm living now ain't heaven, but I can tell you, but you know what I mean? Like that was something I thought that'd be interesting, and it would give you multiple chances at life, I guess. I don't know. It was just a thought that I thought was interesting.
I think heaven is probably nothing.
I mean, nobody really knows.
I think the lights go out and the lights stay out, and that
Fair
does
enough.
sound like pure heaven.
That sounds like well, because they say like go towards the light. What if, or don't go towards the light because it brings you back to your body or whatever. But like if you go towards it, is that just you being reborn? You know what I'm saying? Like you
I've
come
heard
out
that
the other
before.
side, and then obviously all your memories get wiped because your brain would reset. Like, except for some people are like, some of the like, you ever watch those ghost stories and the kid's like, I remember great grandpa John from or whatever, you know what I mean? Like this, okay. Like, I see Timmy in the corner and there's nothing there. And you're like, oh shit. Oh great. This is fantastic. Thank
Man,
you.
I wish I had a kid like that.
When they can see ghosts and stuff.
Yes.
Or spirits or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, no, I thought that was an interesting theory, something to like kind of think about. So that was the conspiracy.
So I pulled up the article that I saw, and it says some scientists and theorists have proposed that death, as we traditionally understand it, may not be the absolute end, according to concepts in quantum physics, particularly those linked to consciousness and reality. Death might be more of an illusion than a final termination. So
Sure.
essentially, they say that we don't die in the way we think because death cannot exist in a timeless, spaceless world as described by quantum mechanics. So, obviously, it's not like a proven thing.
Well, there's no way to prove
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? So it's all theory.
I mean, that's what crossed my mind. I was like, quantum physics and mechanics kind of make it to where there is no end, like because of all the alternate
right.
possibilities and realities that are involved in that. And I don't understand it totally, obviously.
Right.
Only those like geniuses do.
Right. Yeah.
But like there's math that leads them to that.
Right.
But
right. And there's no way. I mean, and obviously you always see those videos, or not always, but like you see those videos of people
I
that have
always
said they've
do.
had like near death experience, or they did die for like 7 minutes or something like that, and like they explain like what they were like, whether that's brain activity or a dream, or if it's something
Sure.
that's actually happening. You know what I mean?
I've
I
done
mean,
I've
they
done
see what they
7 minutes
see.
in heaven.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But you know what I mean, though? Like, it's like people, there's those videos out there that, people have said, like, yeah, I was dead for 7 minutes. And then they explain what they saw in their, their dream, or, whether that was their soul going somewhere else, or,
I always think about like deja vu,
right.
and how like,
The
dude,
strip
I get
club?
that. I get that
It's a
more
fine
often
establishment.
than not.
There's strip steak on Tuesday nights.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that's definitely something to think about. Super dark.
This was dark and twisted.
Well, thank you for that. I'll now have nightmares for the next week.
But those won't be nightmares. That's just you connecting with the alternate reality.
It's just you connecting with a different reality, dude.
Yeah.
In an alternate universe.
I need to get to a mirror right now. I feel it.
Just staring at yourself all night. Huh?
I see a move.
Who are you?
So, all right, nice. Good conspiracy theory. Let's wrap this bad boy up with some Bills Balls games. Do you guys have something to write down?
What do you want me to write down?
Well, you don't have. Do you have a pen and paper?
I have stuff I could write down. Yes.
He's like, do you guys have an idea for a game? Or?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna brainstorm game ideas right now. And okay, so this is just gonna be a quick game, but these are movie titles, and they might be real or they might be fake. Okay. So we'll do. We can do 20 just because you can do it quick. We'll do 10. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
And if we get it, we get a point.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna have you write it all the way down. I'm just gonna go right down the list and then we'll go over the answers.
Oh, so I should write 1 through 10 and go from there.
Yeah. Well, you can, or just go down.
8. I want to make sure you only do 10.
Okay. All right, here we go.
cheating.
First, the incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies.
Am I just writing yes or no? Is that
If it's
True or
a real
false?
movie? Yeah,
True or
real movie or not? Yeah,
okay? Repeat that
you can do
title.
true or
Please.
false.
You repeat the title.
The incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies.
You repeat that title again.
No. Number 2. Night of the day of the dawn of the son of the bride of the return of the revenge of the terror of the attack of the evil mutant hellbound flesh-eating crawling alien zombified subhumanoid living dead part 5.
It's a title.
Is it? I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, even if it made up, somebody would put some time into that. That's a long. How do you put that on a DVD cover? You know,
Oh, yeah.
they make those still. Do they still make DVDs?
I think
All right. Number
Get this on
3.
VHS.
The Asian turtle crisis. All right. Mega shark versus giant octopus. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jesse James meets Frankenstein's daughter. Hitler meets Christ.
Dear Lord. Hitler meets Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that was Daniel Christ. It wasn't even.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
Mm.
Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine.
Hell yeah. It's a classic. Caught that one late night on Max, you know what I'm saying?
Surf Nazis Must Die.
I probably got all of them wrong.
It's so hard to know.
Yeah. It really
There's
is.
only one that sounded actually familiar.
Yeah, same for me.
And last one, we'll do Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bowl-orama.
Oh, I've got that one on repeat. I love a good indie film, you know. Little amateur film, you know.
All right.
Category of choice.
Number one, the incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies. What'd you guys have?
I said true.
I also said true.
1-1. Night of the Day of the Dawn of the Sun, that whole thing. Part 5. True or false?
I said
I s-
false.
I also said false.
That is an actual movie.
Okay.
Idiots. The Asian Turtle Crisis.
I put false on that one.
I put true.
2-1, Eddie.
Ooh, woo!
I was like, that could be a doc. That could be a documentary.
Let's see here.
I don't know about the turtle crisis. I don't know.
Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
I put true.
True.
It's the one that
3-2, Eddie.
That's the one that sounded familiar to me.
Jesse James
Same.
meets Frankenstein's daughter.
I said false.
I also said false.
It is false. 4-3, Eddie. Hitler meets Christ.
True.
I said true also.
It is false.
I was like, that could be one of those weird European
never know.
films. Yeah.
The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
I said true.
I also said true.
5-4, Eddie. That was true. Dr. Goldfoot and the Bikini Machine.
False.
I said true.
6-4, Eddie.
Oh, Dr. Goldfoot.
Dr. Goldfoot.
Surf Nazis Must Die.
I said false.
I said false. It's probably true, isn't it?
It is false. It is
That's it. It's game over?
7-5, Eddie. And where's
I
the
said
last one?
true on the last one.
I said
Sir-
false.
Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bowl-orama. It is a landslide victory for Eddie, 8-5. That is false.
Oh,
I was just
Eddie,
hoping it
you
was real so I
win.
could look it up
eat
later.
it, dude. Oh, I love that game.
You win Bill's Balls games this week.
Yes. What do I get?
You get to take us out.
Oh no!
Take us out.
You take us out. I took us out last week.
Okay, that's fair.
Since you're being
All
a
right.
jerk.
Well, let's wrap this up. Good job, Ed. Great conspiracy, Dean. Good job, fellas, on the big three where I win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania until I don't. So, so great episode. Thank you to everyone for watching and or listening. If you are on YouTube, be sure to like, comment your big three food mascots. What was the cringiest thing you've done or you did as a kid, or what you believed as a kid? Do you believe Dean is onto something with, what was it, your mirror conspiracy? Is that the best way to put it?
Dream theory.
Dream theory. Sorry. And how'd you do in Bill's Balls games? What was your score? So again, like, comment, subscribe if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever you're listening to. If you can rate us 5 stars. Go to secondhandbirdies.com for 10% off.
Mhm.
Click below Eddie for last week's episode. Subscribe button is right under Dean. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you next time on Wake Up with the Sleeper Boys podcast.
Here we go.